Hello everyone, this is Jeanie Ellis, also known as Scrapbooking Mamo. I want to welcome you to another challenge. This is challenge number 5 for Crafters Castle's monthly challenge blog. Now the monthly sponsor is different each month, and for this month we have Honey Bunny's Treasures. Now they're giving away a $25 gift certificate to this month's winner, so you don't want to miss out. And now this challenge is anything goes, always anything goes. But you have an option for this month that we'd like to challenge you with. That is a share your favorite technique. And you'll see in the blog, at the blog and through the videos, the different techniques the designers have used. And just be sure to follow the links below in the description box. Today is my second project for this month. And I am going to try to make a recipe card box. Now, I did not come up with this myself. The dimensions are mine. But I got the idea from another YouTuber. And her name is, let me see, Chelsea Rachel. Anyway, she had a great recipe box using chipboard. And hers wasn't black chipboard, which mine will be, but this is going to be a recipe box for my awesome papers down on the farm. I figured down on the farm, you know, you eat pork, you eat beef, you eat poultry, so I figured this would make a cute little recipe card box. So I'm going to be making the box itself first, and then I'll be covering it, and I'll also make cards. Now I have the dimensions right here of what I use. These are a little bit different than what she used. Not a lot, but just a little bit smaller. Excuse me. Now the chipboard pieces, I have a 6x3 for the bottom. I have the back at a 6x4, and the front as a 6x2. I'll go to the front of the box, and then you have, of course, a left and the right side. These are 2 at 3x4 inches, and what you do is you cut your 3x4, and then you'll go in from, let's see if I can get that, from an inch over here, and then 2 inches from the bottom up, and angle cut that like that. So you're going to have an angle cut from your rectangle. So you can, that'll be your front. The angle will go to the front of the box. So then I'm reading my paper, my instructions for myself, so I don't get the dimensions wrong. The joint pieces are all made out of cardstock, and I use black cardstock. The big ones that will connect the back of the box to the bottom, inside and out, you'll have one for each side. You'll have 2 of them at 1 3/4 inches by 6, and then from the front to the bottom you'll have 2 pieces 1 3/4 inches by 6, and then you'll have the side joints. You'll have 4 joints for this. You'll have to join the back, join this piece to the back. You will have 4 pieces, 2 for each side. So that means you'll have one here and one here. That will be 1 3/4 by 4 inches, and then you'll have one same way on the right side, 1 3/4 inches by 4 inches, because the 4 inches will be the length of the back. Then you'll have to join the front to the back, or join the side to the front, and you'll have 1 3/4 inches by 2 inches. You'll have 4 of those, and then you'll have the side joints to join the bottom to the side. Now I will, I'll try to get that on, I will put the dimensions on my blog, so you can go check out my blog and get all that. So, and you're going to have some score pile tape. So you'll need the chipboard, the trimmer to cut all your cards out. You'll need cardstock paper and some double-sided tape, and I used this score pile type tape. So anyway, let me get started, and I will begin by showing you how to connect part of this, okay? And the rest I'll probably do in fast motion, otherwise it'll take a long time. So the first thing that I usually like to do is after I've got all my pieces, my joints all taped up with a score pal, I kind of press it down so that way I know it's on there good and tight. And I'm going to take the pieces of tape off. Now you probably could use more tape in there if you want to, but I don't like to use that much tape if I don't have to. And I think with it being joints on the front or the back and on the inside, that it's going to give it pretty good stability. So I just use 2 strips on each side. Now these, again, these are all 1 3/4 inches, and they are scored in the middle at, say, 7/8 of an inch. That's right down the middle. Sometimes it doesn't look quite down the middle for some reason, but okay. Now to get the front to the back, I am going to move these pieces out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and put my joint to the back. I don't want it, or to the bottom actually. I don't want to get it right to the edge of the fold. I want to leave a tiny bit of a space, as much as possible, so that way it will fold up and down easily. And I will make sure I get it from this point to this point, on this edge to that edge, as much as possible. It's not going to be perfect, especially if I keep dropping it. Okay, I'm going to put it this way. We'll do it this way and see if I can get it better that way. Might work better if I fold it. The first one always takes me a little bit longer than the rest, because I'm always wanting to make sure I get it right. Okay, so I've got this down, and I will cover the bottom too. I had written on the back of it, and if I was going to do it the other way because it would definitely be covered, but I will cover that anyway. So now to get this back piece onto the bottom, I am going to stand it up first and get it even to the back of the card, or to the bottom, I mean. The bottom to the back. And the reason I'm doing it this way is so that way it's going to have a natural space, and then I'll just bring this piece up to the back. So I hope you could see that. It's kind of hard to do, but to video that part of it. But see, now I've got the back side to the bottom. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and do my sides. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to hug it down really good. So I'm just going to take this piece here, oh, you probably heard that. We get some people who just kind of wild drivers. Okay, so now I've got this piece on the bottom for my side, for one of my sides, and I'm going to take it again. I'm going to stand it up, and since this is my front edge here, this angle goes to the front. So again, I'll take my chipboard and put it on from edge to edge. And you can kind of slide it a little bit just to make sure you get it even. And then just kind of flip up the edge of your joint and fold it over. Now all these will be mostly covered. You may have a few little gaps and everything, but we'll get it all taken care of. And I'm going to go ahead and do this edge too. Now the next step that we can do, we can either go ahead and add the front piece, which I may go ahead and do that first before I do the back. So let's do that first. And again, you're going to have a 1 3/4 by 6 inch length. You're going to have a gap in each piece here. There'll be a gap there, and that is so your box can fold upright. So now we're going to join the back to the sides, and that will be, let's see, the bigger pieces. This will be 1 3/4 by 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is fold this up. I'm going to tape it down to the back side first, I believe. Let's make sure I'm doing it right before I do it. Yeah. It's going to go corner to corner and kind of fold it a little bit so that way I'll help it. And there you have it. So there's one side there. All we got to do is the other side now. Okay, as you can see, I've got my box put together all the way, and all the edges are and everything were put with the same method I'd showed you earlier. But I also cut some strips of paper to cover the edges. You don't have to, but it just makes it more finished look. Now the next step that I need to do, excuse me, is I had to cut out all my papers, my mats for each of the sides, inside and outside. And the dimensions for the inside are going to be the same as the outside. The only difference on the inside is that I am not going to mat the bottom unless I choose to. That can always change, but you know, that's something that's going to be slid around a lot anyway. But I probably won't mat the outside bottom. It's, you know, it's not going to be seen necessarily anyway. But I am going to mat the inside. Now the thing I want to show you is that for the sides, you're going to have an angled paper mat. So it's not straight, but anyway, you're going to have it an angled mat here. I may decide just to do it that way, I don't know yet. But anyway, you know, you're going to have this side, but if you want a particular side to show on this edge, not this side, but you want this side, then you're going to need to make sure that you cut your angle that right direction there. So your angles are going to be different. So this is my outside mat, which means, let me see, I've got it to where I want it to go in here like this. So the mat side on the sides are, let's see, you want 4 of them, inside and outside. You want 4 of them at, let's see, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you're going to have 2 on each side, inside, outside, inside, outside. So just make sure that when you cut your papers, you're going to cut them the right side for the right angle. Now my next step is going to be going ahead and cover these. But what I want to show you is the next thing after that, and then I'll do the matting for that. I want to give you the dimensions for the tabs and the dividers. Now I cheated and I used my silhouette, and I used my layout design from that had a recipe mat in it, index card or dividers. I don't know what I'm doing. Dividers. I cut them out. Now if you have an envelope board, you can make your tabs dividers through that. There's plenty of YouTube videos to show that. or you know, there's other ways to do it, or you can just get some small ones. However you want to do it is fine, but I chose to use my Silhouette because, like I said before, after a while my hands really start hurting, so I have to be careful. So for the dividers, and I am going to cheat and show you this once again. You know, if I don't read it, I might forget and give you the wrong size. I am going to try to put this on my blog, and then that way you can print it out if you want to. For the dividers, they are 5 3/4 by 4 inches, and they are 4 inches up and down with the tab. Okay, that's with the tab. So I made 5 of those. You can do mat both sides if you want to, or one, it doesn't matter. Right, for its time's sake, I'm doing one side. And then for the dividers, the mats for the dividers are going to be 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's all there is to it. So, and plus I went ahead and I printed up some labels to go on top. And like I said, I made 5 of them. So we're going to work on those in a little bit. Now first, I think what I'm going to do is my outside front. And I'm going to take and I'm going to use this type of glue. I am not going to use the score pal tape on it because I don't think it's necessary to use that on it, and I'm running low, it looks like. So I may have to stop the video or just use some liquid glue. Whatever you want will work fine. Liquid glue might be better because it won't, you know, it's give you enough leeway. You don't have to worry about it so much then. If you get it down, you go, oh no, but you could kind of play with liquid glue a little bit. So that's about, it's about right. And I love the checkered paper on this. So I'm going to get my liquid glue. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the back side. And you know, I hate cutting up these little journey mats or whatever you want to call them, but you know, I wanted to use that checkered paper. I mean, I love that checkered paper. Okay, now let's see, for the inside I'm going to go ahead and mat everything and show you what the result is of each piece. I'm going to go ahead and finish matting the inside, and then I'll come back and mat 1 or 2 of the dividers so you can see that, and I will be back, so stay tuned. Okay, so I have gone ahead and finished matting everything up on the box itself, inside and outside. It's all decorated. So now I want to show you, there's nothing really major about the mats themselves and the dividers, but I mean, that's pretty too. You could turn that over. That's, I kind of like that. I'm thinking that's the side I'm going to go for on this one, because I really like that on that black. So I'm going to go ahead, oops, almost made a mistake. I'm going to go ahead and mat all these up, and then I'll put my labels on. And anything else that I want to do with it, I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. Excuse me. Allergies really get to me this time of year. Anyway, I'm going to mat it all up, and I shall be back. So please stay tuned. Okay, I have finished my recipe box. I have matted everything. I even added some index cards. And you can use the stamps if you want to that come with my paper pad kit. You can stamp each of the cards if you want to. I haven't done that yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but I've got all my cards, my dividers, matted on the front, every one of them. Let's see if I can do it this way. And they're labeled, each one labeled. Then I've got let's see, side dishes, and I've got breads, which will be behind there, and then I have desserts as the last thing. Now you can add more to these if you want to, and I mean, you know, you can add like beverages or something like that. You can do that if you want, but you know, right now that's all I've got in there. You can add more index cards, and these are 3.5 by 5 3/4 index cards cut down from a 4 by 6 cards. You can use 3 by 5 cards, so that's no problem. It's just I happen to have the 4 by 6, so I cut it down to 3.5 by 5 3/4. So I'll have the dimensions on my blog. Hopefully I can get it uploaded as a format where you can download it if you want to. So, and then I added lace to the sides of it, and just happened to have that color. I was just excited about it, and being that kind of a eyelet lace, not embroidery lace, but eyelet lace, it just added to the type of box that I've got here. And of course, you know, if you wore a pair of jeans or something, you have to have pockets. So I put pockets on the back, and these, you know, these can come out and go back in. You can write a little note on there if you want to, or just leave it like that, but I thought they needed something. These are part of the little mats or journaling cards that you can trim out, and I thought, well, you know, that'd be cute. I've got glue all over myself. Anyway, you can do it that way if you want to, and decorate whatever paper you want, but I thought this would be just really cute as a recipe box. You know, I grew up with handwritten recipe cards, and this kind of reminds me of that. And with it being down on the farm, you know, you eat chicken, you eat cows, you eat pigs, you know, pork, beef, poultry, eggs, you know, all kinds of things. And on the country, in the country farm, you know, I remember growing up, you know, with a friend of ours who had a farm. She had always had something on the table for somebody to eat. So anyway, I thought it was appropriate to make a recipe card box. So I hope you enjoyed this process video of forming the box itself. Be sure that you check out the Honey Bunny's Treasures. All those links will be below, along with the other design team members who have some great projects to share with you too, for some awesome inspiration. So have a great day, and I will see you next time.